Hi, Trinity friends and family. Welcome back. We are on the 22nd day of the 22nd of December and starting the 22nd chapter of the Christmas mystery. We have 3 days left to find out the rest of this story. 3 more days to open calendars, 3 more doors to open, 3 more stories to read. So let's get started. So there was the man again. I think I showed it to you yesterday, not sure. John has added so many characters in this story. Who knows who it could be? Let's read and find out. The 22nd of December. His food was locusts and wild honey. I think I just made a connection about someone in the Bible who his food was locusts and wild honey. You make a prediction. You can tell that prediction to the people around you, see if you're right, or just read and we'll see if we were right together on that prediction. Joachim woke up early on the morning of the 22nd of December. There were only 3 days left to Christmas and only 3 doors left to open in the magic Advent calendar. He was excited about what he would learn, but he didn't dare begin before his mother and father got up. There they were, both of them. Papa seemed almost nervous. We'd better get going. Joachim opened the door and saw a picture of a man standing in a river that reached up to his waist. The upper part of his body was clothed in rags. Mama unfolded the piece of paper and began to read. The Innkeeper. A godly band were journeying through Samaria. It was at the very end of the 1st century after Jesus' birth. They were going to Bethlehem, In the gray dawn one day in the year 91, they stopped at the bank of the river Jordan, which runs from the lake of Gennesareth to the Dead Sea. Here it is, called Ethereal. The angel Seraphiel took up the story. Out here in the wilderness, Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. The Baptist was clad in a cloak of camel hair with a leather belt around his waist. His food was locust and wild honey. Did your prediction come true? Was it right? I know that, said Imperial, for John had said, there is one to come who is mightier than I. I am not fit to unfasten his sandals. I have baptized you with water, but he will baptize you with the Holy Spirit. Then Jesus came and allowed himself to be baptized in the river Jordan. I was sitting high up above in the clouds, clapping my hands. It was a great moment. Wasn't that when the dove came down from heaven? Elizabeth wanted to know. She thought she had once heard something like that. Imperial beat his wings and nodded. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. To Bethlehem, said Joshua. To Bethlehem. How far is it now to Bethlehem? Asked Elizabeth. Not very far at all anymore, said Imperial. They began running again and were soon passing a large city. As they ran, Ethereal said that the city was called Jericho and was possibly the oldest city in the whole world. They hurried on along the ancient road between Jericho and Jerusalem. It was the road where the Good Samaritan had helped the poor man who fell among thieves. They stormed up to Jerusalem. First, they climbed up to the Mount of Olives. They looked down at Gethsemane, where Jesus had been taken prisoner by the Jews and his disciples had slept when they ought to have been praying for him. When they looked out over Jerusalem, Elizabeth could see only ruined and destroyed buildings. Could this be the Jewish capital? The angel watch says it's the year 71 after Christ, explained Ethereal. Barely a year ago, the Romans sacked Jerusalem and destroyed the city because its people had rebelled against the Roman colonial power. Today, the eternal city is like a shattered piece of pottery. It was the Emperor Titus who did it, said Imperial. Not just him alone, of course. It was Titus and tens of thousands of soldiers. They destroyed the temple as well, continued Ethereal. Only a small part of the west wall is left. Later, this wall will be given the name the Wailing Wall. From this time on, the Jews will be scattered over the whole world. It's so silly it almost makes me cry, whimpered Imperial. We keep saying, peace be with you and peace on earth, but humans never seem to learn that they mustn't fight with each other. Even though the last thing Jesus said when he was taken prisoner was that those who seize the sword shall perish by the sword. Ethereal agreed. All those who celebrate Christmas must remember that peace is the message of Christmas. That's what we sing every Christmas night, continued Imperial. We sing glory to God in the highest and peace on earth. But it's just as if people don't want to listen to that song. Soon I shan't be bothered to sing it anymore. So there. Joshua struck his shepherd's crook against the top of the Mount of Olives and said, To Bethlehem, to Bethlehem. They sped down through the city. A few people were moving among the ruins. One woman was looking into the ruined buildings as if she was searching for something she had lost. The pilgrims ran out through the remains of the western city gate and down the road to Bethlehem. They were only a few kilometers away from the city of David now. All of a sudden, they caught sight of a man who was walking beside a donkey. When he heard the procession approaching, he looked up and waved both arms. Fear not, shouted Imperial for a long way away. But the man was not in the least afraid. Ah, then he is one of us, said Ethereal. The man with the donkey came towards them. He offered his hand to Elizabeth. I am the innkeeper. I am the one who will say that there's no room for Mary and Joseph, but I shall lend them the stable instead. Whereupon he lifted Elizabeth onto the back of the donkey. You must be tired after your long journey, he said. Elizabeth shook her head. I've run through the whole of Europe and through the whole of history as well. Then it goes just as quickly as if you're running down a moving staircase. The man stared at her without understanding what she said. Did you say moving staircase? Elizabeth nodded. Moving staircase, said the man again. That's a funny expression. Moving staircase. Joshua struck his crook on the ground. To Bethlehem, to Bethlehem. Mama put down the scrap of paper and looked at the others with a solemn expression on her face. Papa said, out here in the wilderness, Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. I know that, said Joachim, exactly like the angel Imperial in the magic advent calendar. He went on excitedly. John, the flower seller, is out in the wilderness too, and he poured water over himself and over the bookseller. Yes, indeed. That can't be accidental, can it? Said Papa. And we never thought about his name before. People and flowers both need water, Joachim went on. In the magic Advent calendar, it said that the wild flowers are part of the glory of heaven that has strayed down to earth. I expect there was a lot of the glory of heaven in the River Jordan, too. Papa got to his feet and went into the sitting room to fetch the Bible. When he came back, he leafed through the pages, then read out loud. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough ways shall be made smooth, and all flesh shall see the salvation of God. That was poetic, said Mama. In a way, this is what the whole of the magic Advent calendar is trying to tell us, said Papa. The pilgrims have been traveling towards Bethlehem, but as well as that, they have seen how the stories about Jesus have spread over the whole world. Perhaps so, said Mama, but I shan't be satisfied until we've solved the mystery of who Elizabeth I and the second and the third are. They had to hurry to work and to school. Aren't you glad we're off already? This was the day that Joachim's class was going to perform a nativity play for the other students, and Joachim was going to be one of the shepherds. On the way home, the thought came to him that nearly all the pilgrims who had taken part in the long pilgrimage in the magic Advent calendar had taken part in the school nativity play as well. As he was letting himself into the house, he noticed a letter stuck in the crack of the door. He drew it out and read the envelope. It said, "To Joachim." He hurried indoors and sat down on the stool in the hall. Then he opened the letter and read what was written on the thin piece of paper. Dear Joachim, I am inviting myself to a cup of coffee and a Christmas cookie or two on little Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. I hope the whole family will be there. Yours, John. Joachim waited until they were sitting at the dinner table before telling Mama and Papa about the letter. I had a letter from John today, he began, struggling to keep back a smile. What? Papa nearly choked. He got up and stretched out his hand. Let's see. He must have forgotten that it was wrong to read other people's letters. But Joachim ran into his room to fetch the letter. He gave it to Papa, and Papa read it aloud to Mama. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock? We must be here then, said Mama. Papa grinned from ear to ear. For a Christmas cookie or two. We'll put out everything we've got. Macaroon cake as well, because it's Christmas. And there endeth the reading for December 22nd. Oh, so I've just learned something. Little Christmas Eve. We say Christmas Eve is December 24th, but tomorrow will be December 23rd. So obviously in Norway, they say Little Christmas Eve is the 23rd. And John is coming to visit for a Christmas cookie or two. And Papa says they're putting everything out, including the macaroon cake, because it's Christmas. It is okay to celebrate before the day with family, friends, whoever comes. This year will be different, but we will still celebrate Jesus. Amen to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay, I need to show you this picture. We can almost guess what this story is going to be about, can't we? Yeah, that's for tomorrow. Oh, and I had said, I hope you'd made a prediction at the beginning of the story. It was John the Baptist. I hope you're able to predict that. And if not, we found out in the story. I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll see you then. Bye, Trinity friends.